It doesn't start with a fall, not with a dramatic injury, not even with pain. No, it begins in the quietest, most forgettable moments, when you wake up, swing your legs off the bed, and pause. Not because you're hurt, but because your legs feel different. Not stiff exactly, not painful, just slow, disconnected. You stand up but need to grab the bed frame. You tell yourself, I didn't sleep well. It's the weather. It's just age. And maybe it is, but maybe it's something more. A signal, a warning, not from your knees, not from your muscles, but from your body's deeper structure, your collagen reserves, your muscle fibers, your balance system. You see, after age 60, your body starts losing collagen and muscle faster than it can rebuild. And the first place it shows, your legs. The tremble before the stairs, the longer pause before rising from a chair, the subtle shift in how steady you feel when turning corners. These aren't random, they're messages. And the earlier you answer, the better the outcome. Not with pills, not with protein powders that upset your stomach, but with something your body recognizes, welcomes, absorbs fully. Breakfast. Not any breakfast, but one designed for rebuilding. Rich in collagen-activating nutrients, gentle on digestion, backed by science and used by real people just like you. Over the next few minutes, I'll share 5 specific breakfasts that I give to my patients. They're easy to make, they work, and for some, they've reversed years of stiffness in just weeks. If your legs feel heavier than they used to, if you've stopped trusting your balance, if you miss walking freely and fear losing more each month, then stay with me. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older means growing wiser, and where every breakfast is a chance to begin again. Let's start with the first. It may sound simple, but it changed everything for Doris, who just weeks ago thought she'd never walk her block again without pain. Breakfast number 1: oatmeal plus strawberries plus chia seeds. Doris, 72, was a retired librarian from Milwaukee. When she came to my clinic, she didn't complain of sharp pain. She simply said, I sit on the edge of the bed every morning and wait, because my legs don't feel like they'll hold me yet. No diagnosis, no injury, just a deep, quiet decline. I asked about her breakfast. White toast with jam, sometimes cereal, occasionally nothing. We changed one thing. Steel-cut oats, fresh strawberries, a spoon of chia seeds, that's it. 2 weeks later, she called me. Doctor, she said, I got up and didn't hesitate. I just stood. Here's why it worked. Oats are rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that stabilizes blood sugar. Stable blood sugar means less inflammation, and inflammation left unchecked breaks down collagen silently. Most seniors don't realize this. Sugary cereals and white bread spike glucose, which damages connective tissue, including the joints in your knees and ankles. Oats release energy slowly. No spike, no crash. Just sustained fuel for muscles and collagen regeneration. Strawberries offer vitamin C and ellagic acid. Together they activate fibroblasts, the cells that make collagen. And collagen isn't just for skin. It's the scaffolding that holds up your knees. It cushions your hips. It supports your balance. Chia seeds are small but mighty, packed with magnesium, calcium, and omega-3s. They fight silent inflammation. They also form a gel when soaked, which hydrates the gut lining and improves nutrient absorption, something most older adults struggle with. Together, this breakfast becomes more than a meal. It becomes a message, I'm ready to rebuild. And for someone like Doris, that message changed her mornings. If you've been skipping breakfast or eating something quick but empty, this is your invitation. Not to try harder, but to nourish deeper. Because the difference between struggling to stand and rising with ease often begins with your first bite. But if your fear isn't stiffness, it's instability. If you've started avoiding stairs, handrails, uneven ground, then the next breakfast might be the one you need most. Shall we keep going? Breakfast number 2. Boiled eggs, plus avocado, plus whole grain toast. Restoring leg stability from the ground up. Lawrence, 81, a retired fireman from Des Moines, had battled real flames, but what frightened him now were stairs. I can't believe I'm saying this, he told me, his voice tight, but I avoid my own staircase. I hold the rail like I'm 100 years old. He wasn't injured, but he no longer trusted his knees. And when I asked what he ate each morning, black coffee, maybe some toast, nothing big. We started simple. 2 boiled eggs, half an avocado, 1 slice of whole grain toast. 6 weeks later, he walked into my office. No rail, he said, smiling. I walked up, just to prove I could. Here's why this worked down to the cell. Eggs, especially, the yolks are rich in 3 amino acids, critical for seniors. Proline, glycine, lysine. These are the exact materials your body uses to build collagen and repair muscle tissue. They don't just support your tendons and ligaments. They restore the very foundation of movement. After age 60, your body's natural collagen production slows dramatically. And with it, your leg strength and joint integrity fade. But eggs give your body the raw tools to build it back. Avocados provide monounsaturated fats, essential for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin D for muscle strength. Vitamin K to direct calcium into your bones, not your arteries. They're also packed with potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals that regulate muscle contractions and prevent cramps or twitches that throw off balance. Whole grain toast may seem modest, but it delivers manganese, a trace mineral that activates collagen-synthesizing enzymes in your body. Without it, those amino acids from your eggs can't do their job. This isn't a flashy breakfast, but it's complete. It fuels muscle, supports tendons, and protects bones, all in one plate. For Lawrence, it meant confidence, and for many older adults, that's the first thing they lose. Not strength, but the belief that they can trust their legs again. If you find yourself hesitating before stairs, if you're holding chairs or walls more often than you used to, this breakfast is your starting point. And the best part, it doesn't take 3 hours or a supplement shelf. It takes 10 minutes and a mindset: I'm rebuilding, I'm not done. But what if your joints already ache before lunch? What if your hips feel locked, your knees grind, or you've already given up on things like gardening or walking the block? Then you need something deeper, something that doesn't just support movement, it restores it. Let's move forward. Breakfast number 3 is older than most medicine and more powerful than you think. Breakfast number 3, bone broths, pumpkin seeds, and sautéed spinach. For joints that need more than support, they need healing. Ellen was 76, a quiet woman from Portland who once spent her mornings in the garden, hands deep in soil, trimming her roses. But when she came to me, her tone had changed. "I haven't touched my shears in months," she said. "Just thinking about squatting makes my knees ache." She wasn't in crisis, but she was quietly mourning a part of herself that felt lost. We didn't start with a prescription. We started with this: 1 cup of homemade chicken bone broth, 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seed, a side of lightly sautéed spinach with olive oil. 3 weeks later, she walked in holding a photo. Her in the garden, kneeling, smiling. "Doctor," she said, "I didn't sit down once." Here's what made the difference. Bone broth is nature's liquid collagen. When simmered correctly, it pulls out gelatin, glycine, and proline, key structural proteins that rebuild joints, ligaments, and fascia. And when you consume it in the morning on an empty stomach, your body doesn't have to compete to absorb it. It goes directly where it's needed, to your knees, to your hips, to the spaces that have grown dry, stiff, and sore. Pumpkin seeds may seem like a garnish, but they pack power. Magnesium to relax tight muscles. Zinc to repair soft tissue and reduce joint inflammation. Tryptophan, which helps regulate serotonin and supports restful sleep, a critical factor in recovery. Spinach sautéed lightly in olive oil adds another layer. It's full of vitamin K, which strengthens bones and protects cartilage. And it contains nitrates that improve blood flow, helping nutrients reach the places most in need. Olive oil, that's not just for flavor. It enhances the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and provides its own anti-inflammatory benefits. This isn't just a breakfast, it's a warm act of repair. It's especially for those who've said, "Lausch and I used to do that, but not anymore," whether it's gardening, walking, stretching, reaching. Because when you stop doing the things you love, not because of age, but because your body resists, that's when it's time to send a stronger message. This breakfast says you are still capable. You are still worthy of recovery. You are not past repair. It's healing in a bowl. And yes, it works best when made with intention, but even store-bought bone broth, warmed and paired with care, can be a powerful start. So, if your mornings begin with aching joints, if stiffness has become your normal, let this warmth loosen what's been locked up. But maybe you're someone who doesn't like savory foods in the morning. Or maybe you want something cold, quick, and portable, yet still designed to nourish deep into the muscle. Then breakfast number 4 was made for you. Breakfast number 4. Banana plus Greek yogurt plus ground flax seeds. Fast, portable, powerful for muscle that's fading quietly. Gerald, 68, was a Vietnam veteran, stoic, independent, still fixing things around the house. But his legs. That was another story. "I have to use my arms to stand up," he admitted. "Just getting off the couch makes me feel old." He didn't want motivation. He wanted something that worked. Something fast, no fuss, no cooking. We gave him this: 1 ripe banana, 1/2 cup plain Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon ground flax seeds, a splash of almond milk to blend. He made it every morning, took it in a thermos when needed. And 4 weeks later, he stood up in my office without using his hands. "I didn't even think about it," he said. "I just stood." Bananas, while common, are gold for seniors. They deliver potassium, a mineral critical for QMWE, regulating nerve signals to muscles, preventing cramps and spasms, balancing sodium to reduce joint puffiness. Low potassium equals weak, twitchy, tired legs, and bananas restore that balance gently. Greek yogurt is rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds muscle tissue over hours. It helps counter age-related sarcopenia, the slow, steady muscle loss most seniors don't notice until it's too late. Greek yogurt also provides calcium and vitamin D, which support both bones and collagen production. And because it's fermented, it aids digestion, something many older adults struggle with. Ground flax seeds round out the recipe. They're loaded with omega-3s to fight chronic inflammation, lignans to balance hormones and protect soft tissue, soluble fiber to slow glucose absorption and support gut repair. Together, these 3 ingredients create a mobile muscle repair system. It's fast, it's creamy, and it works. For people who say, "I don't have time to cook," this smoothie removes the excuse. For those who feel bloated or disinterested in food, first thing, it's easy on the stomach, but rich in what your body's begging for. If you've noticed, you can't get up without pushing. Your thighs feel thin, your knees loose, or walking across the kitchen makes your legs ache. Then this breakfast isn't optional, it's foundational. And for Gerald, it wasn't about flavor. It was about strength, returning to places he thought were gone forever. But what if you're not even ready to eat? What if mornings make you nauseous, or you simply want to start light, but still send a healing signal to your joints? Then the next breakfast is for you. It's not a plate, it's a cup, and it's helped more people than any capsule ever could. Breakfast number 5. Collagen. Peptides plus amla powder plus warm lemon. Honey water. A morning tonic that rebuilds what age has taken away. Clara, 74, never missed a morning walk. Until one winter when her fingers stiffened so badly she couldn't even button her blouse. "It's not the pain that breaks me," she said, eyes glassy. It's the frustration. I feel like my hands forgot me. She didn't want heavy food, didn't feel hungry in the morning, but she still wanted to heal. So I gave her a ritual, a simple warm drink. Here's how it goes. 1 cup warm water, 1 teaspoon hydrolyzed collagen peptides, 1/2 teaspoon amla powder, squeeze of fresh lemon, drizzle of raw honey. No cooking, no chewing, no excuses. 2.5 weeks later, she came back and smiled. Doctor, I buttoned my shirt this morning. Didn't even think about it. It just happened. Let's break down the magic. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides are collagen molecules broken down into smaller chains. They're easier to absorb, especially first thing in the morning before other food competes in your gut. These peptides travel quickly to your skin, tendon, ligaments, joints, and unlike creams or capsules, they get used efficiently and predictably. Amla powder, or Indian gooseberry, is one of the richest sources of vitamin C in the world. Why does that matter? Because without vitamin C, your body can't make collagen. Amla also provides polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress, protecting your existing collagen from breakdown. Lemon juice makes your stomach slightly more acidic, helping with the absorption of both collagen and minerals. Raw honey adds antioxidants and mild anti-inflammatory support without spiking blood sugar. The drink is gentle, but don't confuse gentle with weak. This tonic is perfect for older adults who don't like eating early, take medications in the morning, or want something soothing, not jarring, to start the day. And for many like Clara, it becomes more than a drink. It becomes a commitment, a few minutes of quiet, a few sips of intention, and a message to the body, I still care for you. I'm not giving up. If your joints feel stiff before the day even begins, if simple movements like buttoning, tying, lifting feel harder than they should, then this warm cup might be your daily answer. Because strength doesn't always begin with a workout. Sometimes it begins with a sip. Now we've gone through 5 breakfasts, each one designed to rebuild what time tries to steal. But in the next part, I'll share a story that pulls it all together. It's not about food, it's about belief. And it starts with a man who thought he'd never carry his grandson again. The turning point, James and the stairs, it was never about the food. It was about getting his life back. James was 79, a retired electrician, a proud grandfather. But when he came into my office, there was no pride in his voice, just quiet defeat. I couldn't carry him, he said. His grandson, the same boy he once pushed on swings and lifted over puddles. Now, he had to say no. I told him I'd try again next time, but the truth is, I don't think there's going to be a next time. That wasn't just physical pain. It was the pain of feeling useless, invisible, a shadow of who he used to be. We didn't give him a lecture. We gave him structure. He started with the 5 breakfasts. Each day, something different. Sometimes oats, sometimes broth. Always collagen, always protein, always intention. We added short morning walks, no pressure, just a few houses down. We encouraged hydration, light stretching, and most of all, consistency. 3 months passed, and then one Saturday morning, he carried his grandson up the stairs, step by step, no pain, no pause. His daughter sent me the photo. James at the top landing, out of breath, but beaming. Later he told me that moment wasn't about proving anything. It was about getting my life back, because that's what people often miss. This isn't about smoothies or bone broth. It's about being able to walk across the room without holding the wall, bend down to tie your shoes without fear, play with your grandchild without worrying if you'll get back up. The meals are tools, but the goal is freedom. And freedom after 60 doesn't come from effort. It comes from nourishment, from daily decisions that whisper to your body, you're still capable, you're still needed, you're still alive. James didn't reverse the clock. He didn't become 25 again, but he became proud again. And that was more than enough. In our final section, I'll bring everything together, because by now you've heard the science, the stories, the strategies. But what matters most is what you do tomorrow morning. The final message. It starts with breakfast, but it doesn't end there. Tomorrow morning is not just another morning, it's your moment to reclaim. Maybe your story isn't as dramatic as James. Maybe you haven't fallen, haven't needed a cane, haven't said no to your grandson just yet. But maybe you've noticed it takes longer to get going in the morning. Your knees don't bend like they used to. You wait a few extra seconds before standing. You avoid uneven sidewalks. These are not coincidences. They are conversations, your body speaking to you in whispers. The good news, it's still speaking. And when the body speaks, there is time. Time to nourish, time to restore, time to rebuild. You don't need to change your entire life. You just need to start with one decision made before 8 a.m. A breakfast that doesn't just fill your stomach. It signals to your cells. Get ready, we're still in this. Because that's what these 5 breakfasts really are. Messages, fuel, quiet declarations that say I may be older, but I'm not finished. And no matter which one you choose, oats, eggs, broth smoothie, or a warm lemon tonic, you are choosing to show up. Not just for your health, but for your freedom. You don't have to feel trapped in your own body. You don't have to accept stiffness as destiny. You don't have to surrender your independence. What you have to do is begin. So tomorrow morning, skip the cereal, skip the empty toast, skip the habits that feed weakness, and choose something that feeds strength. And if this message resonated with you, if you saw even a small part of yourself in Doris or Lawrence or Clara or James, then please share it. Because someone you love is quietly struggling, and they may not ask for help, but maybe they'll accept hope. And if you'd like to walk this journey with us, where every video brings practical healing, emotional clarity, and a belief in what's still possible, then subscribe to Senior Fit. Because aging isn't the end of strength. It's the beginning of wisdom. And there's still so much of you left to rise. We'll see you tomorrow at breakfast.